Hey friends, welcome to, I don't know what episode it is, of the Sunday Knitting Society podcast. My name is Chelsea and I'm a knitter in Oklahoma City. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. It's been a minute. I hope you guys have had a good 3 weeks. I've had a very good 3 weeks. If you can't tell, last weekend I got to go to the Boston Marathon. I did not run it. I am way too slow for that race, but my best friend's husband ran it, and so we got to go cheer him on, and I did get to run the 5K, and I did pretty good for myself considering that the week before, or 2 weeks before, I think 2 weeks, I gave myself Achilles tendonitis on both ankles by walking. It's very irritating. So I did buy some new shoes to help kind of take some pressure off my Achilles, and I did some exercises, but I basically didn't run for over a week, or around a week before the 5K, and I ran it in brand new shoes, which not advised, but at the 5K it's fine. But it was super fun. Got to hang out in Boston for 5 days. Did a lot of knitting. Also, I don't know why I just thought of this. I have a funny story. This was before, it was right before I podcasted last time, because I forgot to mention this. So I was leaving town for the weekend for a family trip, and like an hour before I was supposed to leave, my heater started making a really funny sound. It kind of sounded like a low-pitched old school telephone ring, and it wasn't running. That's what's weird. My heater was not running, but it kind of freaked me out because it was a strange sound, and it was warm in my house, so I turned it off. The sound stopped. I thought, oh crap, my heater's broken. And so I texted my dad, had him listen to the sound. He was like, it doesn't sound like it's gonna explode. Like, you probably need to get somebody out there to check it out, but you're probably fine for now. So I just had it off for that weekend. Unfortunately, it got really cold, so I feel horrible for my dog sitter. But like when I got back home, my house was like 50 degrees. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So I turned it back on, no sound. Totally fine, working normally. Then the next morning, I am awoken by the sound. And I was like, what the heck? And I was like, I started looking around, like, it's coming from the heater, but it doesn't sound like it's inside the heater. It sounds like it's around the heater. And I thought, maybe it's something on the flue outside. So I ran outside in my pajamas, and I'm like squinting, looking up because the sun's coming in, and the top of my flue, right when I'm looking there, I see this bird pop up, and I realize it's a woodpecker, and I shoot it away. But I've since learned that woodpeckers will peck on metal to mate, so got a horny woodpecker on my chimney making fun sounds and waking me up. Thankfully, I think he has moved on. He did come back one time, and I squirted him with my garden hose. I was like, this is go find a girlfriend somewhere else. But yeah, so that was fun. Not knitting related, but just it made me chuckle. So, oh gosh. Guys, I mean, grab a drink, grab your knitting. I wish you could. I will have to post a picture of this mountain. This is going to be fairly acquisition heavy, so just keep that in mind. I'll do those at the end, so if that's not your jam, you can just sign off. But I have 2 FOs, 1 whip, a bunch of swatches, and a heck ton of acquisitions. I'm in like, okay, so I am like fully in the mood for summer. Not the heat. I don't like the heat of summer, but like I'm ready to start doing summer knitting, and I've already started. So almost all my acquisitions are summer yarn, like plant fibers, and I'm totes here for it. So I think that's about, yeah, let's get going. Hit myself in the face with this. My current color obsession is chartreuse. I'm calling it that because I like that better than lime green. or tennis ball yellow. But did I need another insulated water bottle? No. But this color was calling to me. So I forgot what brand it is. I've been expanding my sparkling water horizons. And so I now drink more than LaCroix. I think this one was a Waterloo, and it was like gingered lime, I think that was it, ginger lime. It's very good. Okay. Let's see. I've got 2 of those, so let's start with those. That rhymed. The first one, I think it was almost done last time, but it's now done. This is my storm sweater by PetiteKnit. I'm gonna put it on. Oh, it smells like my suitcase. I wore this all over Boston. Boston was pretty cold the first few days we were there, and then it warmed up like crazy the last day. I knit this to be, I mean, the way it's designed really is to be oversized. I love this color. I love this color so much. I feel like, oh, I got an appointment for a color analysis. The salon place that does it hired 2 new people, and so they had lots of availability. I was just checking one day just to see if somebody else had a cancellation, and saw that these 2 new people had openings, and so mine's in May. But I might come dressed like this and be like, these are my colors, right? Anyway, so I knit this in Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the Poppy Blue colorway. And I like this yarn. It is, it's interesting. So it's not scratchy at all to me. Like I could wear this next to skin. It's not particularly warm, which is surprising to me because this is a pretty, like it's lots of texture. So it's a little thicker. And I don't know, I just thought it'd be warmer, but I wore this in Boston and the wind goes straight through this. Now, maybe if I'd knitted at a tighter gauge, but I don't feel like my gauge was particularly loose. It has started pilling just a little bit. I don't know if you can even see that. It's pretty minimal. And I wore this a lot. The sleeves are pretty wide. I know ideally I would have liked my sleeves a little smaller. Sorry, Siri, I was not trying to talk to you. I did go back and fix my neckband, and I'm really happy I did because I think it fits a lot better. I might leave this on actually. It's very comfy, and my house is just a little cold. So yeah, this was fun. It's very much a sweatshirt. Yeah, so not incredibly warm. Maybe if it was on a tighter gauge, it would be a little warmer. Oh gosh, I'm like finding all this stuff in it because I haven't washed it because I don't want to. But I think last summer I washed all my knits. I bought laundry bags that you can put, like zippered laundry bags you can put delicates in, and then wash them on a gentle setting. So I might do that again once the weather actually warms up. We're still flirting with cold. So yeah, this is the first one I finished. I'm trying to think what else to say about it. I really enjoyed this. It's a very potato chippy knit because you get like it's not fun in the flat bits. So you do the front and the back flat. It's a drop shoulder. I do like that you're picking up along this ridge, and so it makes it a very smooth pickup. Not not necessarily the easiest pickup, but it looks intentional, and I like that. But yeah, doing this, it's all knits and purls, so that's nice. It's not, you don't ever have to cable, but trying to keep track of which one you knit, which one you purl, and then reverse it when you turn it around. It's a little tricky. It's not hard. Once you get in the round, you memorize it. It's super easy. And it is also modifiable. So if you wanted to make it longer, but you didn't necessarily want to add more panels, like you can just do more, just make them bigger. So it's very customizable, I think. So that's this one. The next one I finished is a sweater. And this one is interesting because I almost brought this one with me, but I packed in a carry-on and I didn't have any extra space. All right, this is my, is that the back? Oh, that's the front. Is it? Oh dears. No, that's the back. Okay, I was gonna say, I think that's the back. Because this is my Lento that I made with, I have some extra of the yarn here. I've had this yarn for a long time. This is Stonewall Gulf Coast Native. It's undyed. I really like this yarn. It's a sport weight. It's very squishy. It's a little bit rustic, but it's not itchy rustic. Like, it's not toothy. It just feels woolly. I'm gonna actually take it out because I've used most of that sweater quantity, so I don't know where I'm gonna put that. Over there. But I used that as the base, and then I used, shoot, I left it downstairs. Oh well. I used Birdie from Diamond Lane or Lemon Kid in the Cake Pop colorway on top. So I double stranded it. And, well, let's just start. I love, it's kind of toning this down. There we go. That's more accurate. It's very vibrant. It looks like confetti cake. And that's like, that gave me so much happiness. Like, I loved knitting this. And the fabric is just squishy. Like, the combo of these yarns was just so delightful to knit with. But I did my classic Chelsea mistake where you get a speckled yarn and you just assume they're all equally speckled. So you don't alternate skeins. So you can kind of tell where I added on a second skein. Actually, you can't tell as well anymore. You can still tell pretty well in the back because we get some pooling. You can see that pooling. I do not like pooling, and it is very pronounced. So what I did was when I finished knitting this, I went back with the Birdie and I duplicate stitched to try to hide it. So I think I think if I wouldn't have told you it was there, it would have been a little, now the camera picks it up. The camera really does, but I think it's a little bit harder to pick up. So literally, you can kind of see all my ends in there. I just went in and duplicate stitched the heck out of it. I did not waste time duplicate stitching the back because I don't care. It's the back. But, let's see. Yeah, I think I did a whole sleeve in a day. I think I actually did a sleeve and a half in a day. I was so determined to finish this. I even did the tubular bind off, or Italian sewn bind off. I even did that for the bottom hem, which it really doesn't look that, I don't know, mine doesn't look as neat as some people's does, but it's still good. I haven't really gotten a chance to wear this because it's been, when I got home from Boston, it was in the 80s, like almost in the 90s here, like, ugh, so gross. But to be honest, this thing probably won't get much wear or anywhere until next winter or fall, because it is a fuzzy yarn. It's a thicker weight, but I just love it so much. I feel like these two sweaters are very Chelsea. So where am I gonna put this? I don't really want to throw that. Okay. I think that's all of my FOs. One of my whips, it was almost an FO, but it didn't quite make it. Let me remember. I brought my pattern because I'm gonna forget what this one's called. Let's find it. Okay. I made the plain yoke tee 22 by Lento. So this is the fingering weight version. Although to be honest, like I'm a little bit annoyed that we have two completely separate patterns for a 22 gauge and a 20 gauge, because those are almost exactly the same. And one of these is considered, the 22 is considered fingering weight and the 20 is considered DK. But like, I think I'd have been a little happier if it was like a 24 is the fingering. Anyway, I am almost done with it. So I finished the body last night. I have the sleeves to go. The way that the instructions are written is you pick up the sleeves, you knit 2 inches, and then you do your bind off. But when I've tried it on, I really like the sleeves at this length. And so I'm probably just going to pick up, knit a couple rows, and then do my bind off, because the bind off is several rows long. I am knitting this, or I knit this, out of Antigone by Derum Natura, which is 100% linen. So this is it. This is in the pamplemousse, which is grapefruit, which I didn't have to know any French for that because I am a long-term LaCroix drinker, and pamplemousse is my favorite flavor, that and coconut. So yeah, it is French linen. I had never knit with this before. I bought this from La Mercerie online, and I think I got 5 balls of it. Yeah, 5 balls of it. I've used 3. Like, I take that back. I barely, in my last 3 rows, I had to break into my 4th ball. So if I'd have made it a little bit shorter or like on a smaller needle, I probably could have gotten away with just 3 balls. I love this yarn. I love this yarn so much. I've bought more of this yarn. It's on the way. It's not here yet. I have not blocked this yet, so it does, like, the stitches look quite wonky, but I think that's just because it's linen. I've tried this on and I love the fit. I love the fit. It is a pretty open gauge. Sorry, I got fluff on my face. So it's a pretty open gauge. Like, you can see me through it. I think, yeah, you can see me through it. But it's close enough to my skin tone that you can't, I've tried it on in the sunlight. You can't see anything through it, which makes me happy. I don't love this open gauge though. I love the drape. Like, the drape is lovely. It's not looking that great, but it's really nice. But I love the rolled hem. I like that it's rolled hem everywhere, including on the neckline. I really like that. Also, this thing smells like the hand lotion I've been using. So I recently discovered a perfume that I really like, and I found out that they had a brick and mortar in Boston. So I went, it's Le Labo, and this is the Hinoki scent. There's a basil scent that I haven't tried yet. I was with my friends and their kid, and they were kind of like, I had told them like, hey, I want to go to the store and you guys don't have to come with me. It's fine. I just want to go in it. But they all stood outside waiting for me. And so I kind of felt like, okay, I need to not spend loads of time in there. So I was literally just like grabbing things. But I love the scent of this. It's actually the hand pomade. So it's a little thicker. Really like it. It doesn't feel greasy at all, but it smells lovely. And now this whole sweater smells like it because I knit this on the plane. I think, just to show you how fast I start. Neighborhood commentary. My neighbors just, okay, good. They just left. So hey, maybe we won't get any more neighborhood commentary this time. I was just like, how long are they gonna sit there? I just talked to a tripod. So this pattern does have a standard and a beginner friendly pattern. So this has, I did the standard one. It has short rows in it. The beginner friendly one does not have short rows. So very easy to do. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think I had just gotten past the short rows when I left. I did have a 3-hour delay on the way there due to weather, and so I walked around LaGuardia for 3 hours and just knit. I think by the time I got to Boston, I was like a few rows away from the splitting for the sleeves, and we had a lot of downtime, and I was like, my feet were sore, and so I just stayed in the hotel and just knit. So I think by the plane ride home, I was like to here. And so I've just done the rest of that since I've been home. So I got a lot of this done on the trip. And I will finish this probably today and then block it. And we'll see how it looks when I'm done blocking it. I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, so the way that you do the increases on this sweater requires some counting. And I think if you read your knits well, it's not an issue, but I was kind of struggling to read my knits. And so I brought a row counter. I have one of those that you can click and you can lock it. And I lost it in the airport on the way there. It's great. Thankfully I remembered what row I was on. I think I was on 42, and I'd had it sitting on top of my suitcase, sitting at a gate knitting, and they changed my gate 4 times, which was annoying. And the first time they changed it, it was like, we weren't delayed yet. I was like, oh crap, I have 10 minutes to get to this gate on the other side of LaGuardia. So I grabbed all my stuff and put it in, and I think I forgot to get the stitch marker off the top of my suitcase, and because I could not find it from that point on. But I found an app that works on both iPhone and Apple Watch that you just tap it and it counts for you. So it's like a stitch marker. So you do have to get into the app each time, because anytime you like the watch falls asleep or like you don't use it for a second, it closes out the app. And so I kept having to go back and get it. But you could add it, if you have an Apple Watch, you could add it as one of your little points on there, and you can have multiple counters at the same time. So I will screenshot that, or I'll put the name of the app in the description box. It was free and it was very simple and I liked it. So I used that for the rest of it. And then once you split for the sleeves, you don't need to count anything from that point on. Oh gosh, there's no room on this guest bed. Oh gosh, okay. That's all my whips. I did start a second one of those. Excuse me. I had some Santalina from Pearl Soho that I was kind of going through all my yarn for a different reason, and found that and was like, oh, this would be nice because it's a little bit fluffier. It's cotton, I think, and I left it downstairs. I don't remember. It's cotton and hemp, I think. I don't know. I don't remember what it is. It has cotton in it, but it feels a little fluffier, and so I think it will maybe fill out those gaps a little bit better. But I'm like 2 rows into it, so it is worked top down, which I think was probably obvious, and it's nice. Okay, I have one more whip-ish thing, and then it's just all acquisitions from that point on. Oh, I have one more funny story, actually. So on the flight home, I had upgraded to first class with my points because it was a 4-hour flight, and that sucked. There's no entertainment thing, like no TV to watch. Slightly salty about that, but I'm knitting on this t-shirt, and I've got the ball in the bag. I forgot to show that too. Anyway, so I have it in my knitting bag, and it's inside my tote, and I just wasn't thinking about it, and when the plane took off, my tote just went and the yarn rolled out of it. Oh gosh, so I was like trying to like lean down and pick everything back up, and then I realized like my yarn ball's going this way. It gets under my seat, and so I look back and I can see it, and it's like wedged between the wall of the plane and the seat behind me, and it's within arm's reach of the guy behind me, but he was asleep. I was like, shoot. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just keep knitting, because I can still pull yarn off this thing. It was still a very full ball, so it wasn't like I was gonna finish it, but I was like, I'll just do this until he wakes up, and then hope that it's not gross. I hope it's not laying in something gross. But I had a wonderful flight attendant who came by to get my dinner order, and I told him, I was like, I'm so sorry, but my ball of yarn has fallen behind the, like, under the guy's seat behind me, and he's asleep. And so this flight attendant like got down and like reached around this guy's legs and got my ball of yarn and then like threaded it under the seat up to me. And I was like, you are the MVP of this knitting project, so thank you. But I forgot, guys, I'm so glad I remembered this. I bought a new knitting bag from the Fat Squirrel, who is hands down my favorite bag maker. And it just fills me with so much happiness. I got the sock size. It's called Curvaceous Carrot, and I absolutely love it. So it's the perfect size actually for this project, because I could fit 2 balls of that yarn plus my current ball and my whip. It was a bit of like shove it in there, but I could still zip it shut. And it fit all my notions and everything. So it's kind of a fun little bag. Okay. So I am in a test knit, and I'm allowed to talk about it, which is awesome. So I am doing the Tulsa tank. I was actually in the airport waiting for my first flight out when she announced this, and I freaked out and like signed up super quick, and then I found out I got picked. Yay! I am doing the 4-ply, the fingering weight version, and I'm doing the square neck. But what's so cool is because you're part of the test, you actually get a copy of all of the patterns. And so I'm going to obviously do the one I signed up for first. But I have so many plans. And so that's where some of my acquisitions come in. So I swatched a lot. And so some of this we will talk about. I'll probably filter in some acquisitions with this, so just fair warning on that. So I originally signed up to knit this in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk because I had made, here it is, yeah. I've made a shirt, t-shirt, I wore it recently actually. So I made the, oh my god, sorry, it's all kinds of backwards. Coloring book tee from Amy Scher in black Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, which is a lovely true black. I think it's like super dark. Unfortunately, it catches every bit of lint and hair and fuzz. It's incredibly soft, and I've washed it a couple times. I think you can machine wash this. I've never done it. I'd be a little nervous to do that. Oh good, there's an end coming out. Well, I just need to trim that. Okay. I forget what needle size you use on this, but I think it's a 6. I think the gauge is supposed to be the same that I'm going to get for the Tulsa tank, and I do not like this gauge. So yet again, you can see me through this thing. Because it is black, and because my skin is very pale, it shows every detail of my bra and anything I'm wearing underneath it. So the way I've figured out how to do this is I like to wear sweaters over dresses at work. So I've been wearing this over a dress at work, and that gives, it's like a very light extra layer. And so I really like it for that. But I love the softness of the drape and the wearability of this. Like I can wear this in summer here in Oklahoma. So I knew I wanted to do that. So I'd actually already bought 2 sweater quantities of Pure Silk, and I got let's see. I got Haze, which is this lovely dove gray. Oh good, my neighbors are back. Shoot, y'all couldn't have taken a longer trip? Oh, gosh. Yeah, they were gone for like what, 4 minutes? Oh, they drove to the CVS. The CVS is a 5-minute walk from here. Sorry, I'm not so silently judging my neighbors. Anyway, okay, well, we're gonna wait till they're gone. Okay. So the other color I got was Deep Petroleum Blue. So I got 8 skeins of both because I bought these before I was chosen for the Tulsa tank, and I didn't realize she was gonna have a fingering weight option. And so my thought was I would hold them together, not these two, but one or the other together and do the DK. But impulsively, I signed up for the fingering weight. So I decided to go ahead and swatch with this one. So this is on a US 4, and I really like this fabric. It's definitely not as see-through as the other one, as the black. This is a little bit too small of a gauge. So when I first measured this, I got 28 stitches per 4 inches, and I don't know what I was thinking because I just remeasured it again this morning and it's 25. My goal is 24. So that's not a huge difference, and I do figure that like the weight of the sweater will cause it to stretch more. So this may actually be a go. It is, I mean, it is light as a feather. It is so nice. It's really making my nail polish pop and like blow out like crazy. But it's just very, very nice. I don't know that it's the best color on me. So what I might do is actually knit the tank in the navy. And then I might do a camisole in this. We'll see. That was the first swatch I did. Second swatch I did was with yarn I already had. I bought this a few years ago. This is Cattail Silk by Pearl Soho. And I believe this is all like recycled silk essentially. This is the Midori Green. So I have 2 skeins of that. It's like 618 yards per 100 grams. So it's a very light fingering weight / lace weight. So I've done 2 here. And it would have been great if I would have put those little eyelets in here so I could know which size I chose. So the bottom one is double stranded on a US 5. This is single stranded on a US 4. I met gauge with neither. I think they were actually both 21 stitches per 4 inches. So too big of a gauge. This is already the double stranded was already fairly stiff. Like it doesn't move like you want it to. It kind of looks like it does there, but it really doesn't. This one does, but this one is very see-through. Like you can see my face through it. So I didn't really like this single stranded, and I would have had to go down a needle size for this to make it work, and that would have been too stiff. Going down a needle size on this probably would have actually made it a better fabric, and I may still do that. We will see, because if I did it single stranded, I have enough left over to do the whole thing. So I might, but that would mean knitting it on like a US 3. I might end up doing that anyway, but that's that swatch. Then before I left on vacation, I made another yarn purchase. So we now have 2 sweater quantities of Knitting for All of Pure Silk. So let's double down and add on a sweater quantity of Tin Lena from Sandisgarn. I've heard a lot about this yarn, and I was just like, you know what? We're gonna try it. Oh, I thought that was a tornado siren for a second. I was like, it's past noon. Ooh, we got an hour, and I gotta go. I'm getting a facial today. Woot. This one is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. It is thin. Tin Lena is very thin, but I did another swatch Oh gosh. Oh wait, this way, right? Yeah. Okay, so the bottom one is on a US 4, single-stranded, and that hit gauge. This was a US 3 single-stranded, and it did not. It was too small. So I think I don't know. I'm on the fence. I need some advice, because now I'm probably going to end up making something in all of these. I also bought more yarn. There's more coming. So I could do single-stranded cattail silk on a US 3, and that would get me. And I like this color. I think this is a fun color. I could do the required needle on Tin Lena. Also love this color. It was described as lemon lime. It did not quite meet my, it's pretty close. It kind of was getting my chartreuse vibe, but it's a little bit more like pea green, apple green. Or, okay, so the other option is that we just do this one as is. So what do you think? Should I knit it on a size 3, do it in Tin Lena in this funky apple color, or do it in probably navy in the knitting for olive? So I'm gonna start it today. One of the options. I'm going to start today. I haven't made up my mind onto which one I want to do. They're all just so soft and lovely. I don't think I want to start using a different needle size, so I think I will nix that one. So it's really between two incredibly soft yarns. What do you guys think? Which one should I, well, I guess I should hold this up. Should I start with the navy and the knitting for olive, or should I start with the Tin Lena? I'll probably end up doing them both, but which one would you like to see for the test knit? Give me your opinions. Okay. So I think. So actually, yeah, so some other contenders that I thought about using. One of the things, okay. So it's 24 stitches per 4 inches, so 6 stitches per inch on a fingering weight yarn. And unfortunately, a lot of plant-based fingering weights are very fine. I don't like that open of a gauge. So one of the thoughts I had was use a thicker yarn. So I was rummaging through the yarn I had, and I did find the Santalina, but decided that I would like that better for one of the plain yoke tees. So I found this stuff that I bought last year, 2 years ago, from Hobby Lobby. It is rayon from bamboo, I think is what it said. Viscose from bamboo. 50% cotton, 50% viscose from bamboo. I didn't realize this 50% cotton. I don't know if I love this color. It's kind of, what is this, like puce? I don't know what they call it. What do they call it? Sage. I don't know if I'd call that sage. I don't know if I love this color. It's very soft. I have 4 skeins of it, which is enough. So I could. I just don't know if I'm not loving this color. This also feels incredibly soft, and I just don't believe that it's not going to like fall apart on me. So I have that. I also have, what is this? The tag flipped on me. Oh no, don't unravel. Sweetgrass, which is 65% organic cotton, 35% superfine alpaca. So this is from Pearl Soho as well. This is 437 yards per 100 grams. I have 6 skeins of this. So I could knit this single stranded, or I could double strand this. I kind of want to save this for one of the plain yoke tees though. Or even a Tolsta tee. I just think this, and the alpaca content of this makes it incredibly drapey, but it also is going to make it warmer. So I don't know. I don't know that I want a tank top in this color. And then I just bought more of this because apparently I'm on a yarn buying rampage lately. But I had one of this. So this was another one of the cattail silk, and this is in the flower field in charcoal. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it. So yeah, there's like colorful flecks in there. So this would be another one I'd have to do on a US 3. I don't know why. I think I bought 2 more of this, and I think I was thinking, oh, I'll just double strand it. So I could still do that. But yeah, those are my thoughts for the Tulsa tank. But I think I have till the end of May to do it. I am determined I'm going to be a better tester on this test than I was last time. With my Plata sweater, I always called it the grid sweater, so I was trying to remember the actual name. With the Plata sweater, I still don't have all my details on Ravelry, but I did get pictures up, so there's that. But I'm going to like measure everything, write down everything on my phone, so that when she sends out the tester form to fill out afterward, I've got it all there no matter where I am in the world, so I can do that. Okay. So the rest that we have today is acquisitions. I've got a fair few of them. You've already seen some of them. But yeah, so if acquisitions are not your jam, I fully appreciate that and respect that. Go away, don't spend money. If they are your jam, then stick around. So I'll just because I think it's fun to show the full impact. This is, oh no, yarn down. These are my Knitting for Olive bags. So I've already taken a couple out on this one and one out on that one, but it's just, I don't know where I'm putting these. Because my shelves are not really great at holding balls of yarn. Oh, sorry, I had to get that guy. So I don't know what I'm doing with that. I was supposed to be clearing off some of this yarn so that if my cousin decides to come live with me, it won't be yarn everywhere in my house. I'm failing at that. That's okay. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna kind of do these by where I bought them from. So I did get one more skein of Nomadic yarns. This color is Dream House. It's on Twisty Sock, which is her 80/20, and I love it. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Nomadic Yarns is my absolute favorite self-striping yarn dyer. She makes the most fun colorways. I have a whole collection of her yarn down here. I am behind on my socks for the year. Still have not finished my March socks, and we're almost done with April. So at some point I will get my sock mojo back and I will keep knitting socks, but maybe this will be a summer sock. This is fun. I could make my nieces some socks in this. They would love that. So we'll see. I feel like I'm talking really fast. Okay, yeah, let's do this one. Okay, I think I've mentioned before that Lamb and Kid and their dyed to orders are like personally targeting me. They're not. They keep doing weekend dyed to orders, and their color sense is so good, and their yarn is just lovely, and I can't resist it. And also, okay, so this is the latest color that I bought. This is Trio, and it's called Topsy, and I love it. It's like a pinky blue. You know what it kind of actually reminds me of is hydrangeas, when they're like not pink, not blue, and they're kind of in that like in between periwinkle phase. That's what these remind me of. So Trio is 70% merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon, 450 yards per 100 grams. This is going to be a Tulsa tank. I can tell you right now. I think I actually want this one to be the tank top. I think I would like that best. But it is fingering weight. It is a light fingering weight, but it's got enough body to it that I think it could actually hold its own quite well in a tank top. So that's the first one. they also had matching birdie. Look at that. Is that not just, I can't get over this. This is blowing out a little bit. It's a little darker than this. Like, that's a little better. But, so the birdie is 74% alpaca, 26% silk. It's 238 yards. I only got one of these because I couldn't justify more than one. And then, because I was buying some already, I got it in sour apple. So this is, I think these are fun. I don't know what I'm using this for. Actually, I had an idea. I have this causeway yarn from Woolly Mammoth. And I've got 5 colors of it, and I kind of thought, how fun would it be to match up? So I've got like this light pink, this lavender is like, I think, like this. Oh, maybe not that one. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Okay, it's a little bit more, it would bring out more of the purple. But something like that, I'll maybe get a little bit more pink one. And then use some of the colors I already have of birdie and hold these together and do a striped sweater. I think that would be so fun. And I think it would also be a good way to soften up slightly rustic yarn. I think that yarn is lovely, and it's not like lopey itchy to me at all, but it is a little bit, it's a little rustic. So I think that'd be nice. I don't know when I'm gonna do that. All right. Everything else. Oh yeah, so I guess I kind of already showed this, but I think I got 6 balls of the Tinlina, and I think they called this lemon lime, but all they have on here now is the number, so it's 9825. And I got this from Mother Knitter. They have a very good selection of Sandus yarn, available in the US. And if you buy over $150, you get free shipping. Spoiler alert, I did that. Okay, so the next 2 purchases, actually all of the rest of the purchases were heavily influenced by a new to me podcast that's not new. It's been around for a year, a little over a year. It is 2 Pearls in a Pod, which is Paige and Sarah. They're in Australia, in, oh no, I'm gonna forget where it is. No, Melbourne, Australia. And they are lovely. Their hype is just the best. Like, they both hype each other up so well. Like, we all need somebody that gets that excited about our knitting. And I love it. I absolutely love watching them. I actually downloaded one of their episodes and watched it on my phone in the airport. Fun fact. Well, I don't know if it's fun fact. It was for me. I found out if I like lift the handle on my carry-on a little bit, I can wedge my phone perfectly, and it's like the perfect seated height for me to watch videos. Oh, I'm talking really fast. So Paige recently-ish got this knitting book, and because of a specific pattern, the knitting book the knitting book she got was in Japanese. And I thought, I bet I could find an English translation of it. And I thought I did. I did not. So the book is Ecologue. And there is a name on there, but my eyes are having a really hard time reading it without my readers on, so I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I'll probably misread it and butcher it. I got really excited when I first opened it, and I saw that the table of contents was both Japanese and English. I don't know if you can read that at all. I was like, I did it. I got the English version. Nope. So this is the reason I bought this book, or one of the reasons. So this is the vest that Paige was excited about, which is the ribbon vest. As you can see, it is all in Japanese. And I'm just going to flash this just to give you guys an idea. Just how intense these patterns are. Let me find one. I'm not going to leave it up very long because I don't want anybody to steal this if you do read Japanese, but like, look at that. There's a lot of diagrams. Now they do give you the bow charted pattern, and that's great. So I really do. I love this. It's so pretty. Now, a couple things. I think what Paige was saying was when she got, because she actually did try to translate it, and there are two sizes. There's child and adult. Now, I cannot verify that because I don't speak or read Japanese. And my Google Translate was really struggling with this. But it is steeked. It is, so the whole thing is knit in the round, I believe, including the armhole and the neck. And then you go back later and you steek and you steek. I've never steeked. I don't really want to start steeking on a pattern that is not in English. But, and then like this detail is just so good. But there are other things in here. Part of the reason I bought it is because there are other things in here that I think are gorgeous. Let me find the other one I loved. So, oh yeah, I like this one. I think that one's so pretty. That one is, I don't know what that one's called. Lema? No, that's not Lema. That's Canon. Oh, looks so different. Flat. Isn't that pretty? The photography in this book is so good. This is another one. Let's see if there's a better picture. Yeah. It's a stamps. It looks like little stamps. Like there's a close-up. Isn't that so cool? I think that would be a slightly exhausting color work to do, but they even used it like with a Tweety yarn. It's just so pretty. Oh, this one. Let me find it. Find a better picture. This one is an odd shape. I don't think I would ever do this shape, but it's called, what is it called? Tulip? I think it's called Tulip? Ophelia. Oh, that's a cool name. So it's got little flowers all over it. I think there's so many good patterns in here. Find another one. Oh, well, I think I must have passed the other ones I liked. But they do give you, so there are some really good charts in here. And so I figure, you know, what I could do, I'm just looking at the rest of this, so pretty. What I could do is just use like the Tulsa tank, the vest version, and then put that bow motif on it. I don't think I would do different colors for everyone. Maybe, I mean, I would at some point, but what I'm thinking is do like one of the next color I'm getting of Antigone is like this pale blue, like mineral blue, I think. So doing something like that, but with like a cream colored bow, I think would be so pretty. Even if it was just like in one layer or something, or all over, I don't know. But I thought that would be so fun to do. It would mean doing color work flat for part of it, which I'm not a huge fan of. We'll see. I could also do it in, I could do it in the plain yoke tee because it's a circular yoke and there's space in between the increases. So I could knit a row. Ideas. So I got this from an Etsy shop that ships from Japan, and while I was looking, keep an eye on my time, I was looking, there was a suggestion for another Japanese knitting book. This one may be a little bit more practical, but this one is called Flower Knitting, and it's different color work motifs that are all flowers. So like, this just kind of gives you some ideas. So there are some so pretty ones in here, like, and there are some pattern suggestions. I really like this. I'm gonna not show the graph. And aren't those so pretty? But like, there's some that involve like baubles and lace and, oh, this one. These are all so pretty. Like, that is gorgeous. Maybe I need to do that. That's not hard. And it doesn't ever have long floats in it. Ooh, maybe I need to do that one for a Tolsta. Ideas, man, y'all, ideas. Let me find another one. There's just so many really good ones in here. I was just kind of blown away. Let me find, oh yeah, so this one incorporates baubles as the flower. What? It's so pretty. I've literally just been thumbing through here, like they have a few patterns in here that you can make with that, but I also just thought these are like, they're, oh yeah, these are bigger motifs. Like, look at that. Can you tell? I'm really jazzed about this. Oh, this one, oh my gosh, guys, this one has a bow on it, a 3D bow. I mean, they're all 3D because it's knitted, but there's just so many flowers, and it's like, it's awesome because you can actually recognize some of them. Let me just find one that's a little bit more. There's some that are like super intricate. Oh, I have strawberries. Ah, they're so cute. Maybe I need a strawberry Tolsta. Holy crack. Sorry, the wheels are turning in my head, and I'm just like, this is gonna be such a useful book. Oh my gosh. There are bunnies and squirrels. Okay, I'm gonna stop losing my mind over this book. They also just have, apparently I'm not gonna stop losing my mind over this book. Look at that! It's in cabling! I mean, I don't know that I would have, that's actually embroidery inside cabling. Yeah, I don't have patience for that. But it's still beautiful. And then there's some lace work in here. Just honestly, so this is flower knitting. If you're interested, it is gorgeous. And this was from the same Etsy seller. I don't remember who they were. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description below so you can geek out on Japanese knitting motifs, just like me. But yeah, so thank you, Paige, to getting really excited about this, and therefore making me really excited about it, because now, I mean, good grief, you can add those motifs to any pattern. It'd just be so fun. Okay, the other thing, okay, oh sorry, it's like spit on my face. So the next yarn purchases were influenced by Sarah from Two Frills in a Pod. So she made, I'm going to pronounce this all kinds of wrong. Oh, double toffler. There's slippers, knitted felted slippers. I believe it is a Sandus Garn pattern, and it is now free in English. So it is made with yarn called PetiteKnit, which when I looked it up, it was like leisure yarn. I don't know the content of this. It's 100% Norwegian wool. It is quite thick. For my size, I needed 6 balls per color. So this one was like a dark charcoal. I don't think it's 1055 is the colorway. So basically you knit, like you cast on with Judy's Magic cast on, you do in the round, and then you basically knit each foot separately. Then you wash it, felt it, and you stick one inside the other to create a double layered slipper. Once it gets felted to the point you like it, you stick it on your foot and put a sock over it until it molds to your foot. It's awesome. It seems so simple and so fun. But every time because I knew I could probably use a different yarn other than this. It just needs to be a non-superwash so you can felt it. But it's about to be summer here, and I was like, I'll think about that in the winter. I'd already downloaded the pattern. And then I was on Mother Knitter looking for some Tinlina, and I realized they now have this yarn. I don't know if it's new or I just haven't seen it before, but I got it in 2 colors. So I got this, And I got I think it was supposed to be olive, but it also came out very much like this. So it's kind of an apple green olive, and I'm going to make 2 pairs of those socks. I don't know when. It doesn't seem like it would take a ton of time. So, and the pattern is not super difficult, but I think I'll put the name of the pattern in the description box. But I think if you just go to Sandisgarn, if I can find the link, I will get it for you guys. But you download it as a PDF for free from Sandisgarn, which is pretty awesome. So if you're in the US, Mother Knitter has PetiteKnit. That's, my brain cannot pronounce that word. So those are bulky, and I bought essentially 12 skeins of them. I forgot I bought 12 skeins of each, or total, 6 skeins each, until the bag came, and it was like monster. I was like, what have you done, Chelsea? What have you done? Okay. I have one more purchase, and I think that's it. This really isn't as long as I thought it would have been. I'm gonna take a breather because I feel like, again, I'm talking really fast. The last thing I bought is alpaca from Sandisgarn also. And this is 100% alpaca. 50 grams is 110 meters. And I think I got 10 balls of this. Maybe more. Maybe I got 12. You want to see the bag? I didn't take them all out because, again, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. There's still 2 more that aren't in the bag. This was another one where I was like, did you buy? How many did you buy? Like, for a second, I thought I must have accidentally added it twice. And then I looked at the meterage and I was like, oh, no, actually, yeah, I do need 2. So, or I need that many. So I have 10 or 12. I lost count. But it is very soft. It is lovely. I kind of thought this would be, actually, so Rebecca from the Crayabea just mentioned that she was going to add long sleeves to her Tolsta tee pattern. So you don't have to buy a new Tolsta pattern for the long sleeves. Makes me so happy. So this may actually be a long sleeve Tolsta because alpaca is quite warm, but from everybody I've seen, alpaca doesn't tend to pill a ton. So I thought this would be a really fun one, and like kind of another like winter pop of color, so you don't look sad and gray all winter. Can you tell that's my method? So yeah, I don't know, that probably won't be a summer cast on. I have so much yarn coming. I have no business buying new yarn. I got bored in the airport. I spent a lot of time in the airports this week, last week, and when I'm bored in airports and I have time, I buy yarn. So yeah, I have 2 more, 4 more yarn orders coming. Now, I will say one nice thing about plant-based yarns is they're usually less expensive. So even though like there's a ton of yarn that I just showed you, it would have been so much more expensive if I was buying hand-dyed wool. Wool is way more expensive. I don't know why that is, but it is. So there you go. It's cheaper. You can buy more of it. It's also for summer garments, which knit up quicker. I think once I started wearing that silk t-shirt that I showed you guys, once I realized I could actually wear that over dresses at work, that was a game changer for me because I love wearing my hand knits. I absolutely love it. And I love getting to wear them to work. But once it gets hot out here, like in the summer, you can't. Like, it is so disgustingly hot here that it's not gonna work. So being able to wear things that are breathable and plant-based, like linens and silks. I do think I like linen and silk more than I like cotton. I think cotton doesn't always, cotton's kind of hard to knit with because there's no give to it. And so it can be harder on your hands to knit it, but it also can feel heavier. I think silk and linen both feel like that. Antigone was truly delightful to knit with. Like my hands felt better when I got done knitting with it. Honestly, I would like to continue buying more of it. It's not outrageously expensive, and it is good yardage for each ball. Like, I mean, the fact that I could get that t-shirt done in almost 3 balls, if I'd gone down a size, I would have definitely gotten it done in that few balls. So I think I can absolutely get a Tulsa tank out of 3. Smaller sizes could probably get it with just 2. But yeah, sorry, I'm so glad I get a facial tomorrow. My face is like, you guys can't tell because I'm further back. I try to take really good care of my skin. I wear sunscreen, I use a serum, I moisturize, try to wash my face every night. Doesn't always happen. I don't wear makeup. I mean, I wear some like mascara, but I don't wear foundation. But when I travel, my skin gets real gross. Like it just feels gross. I start getting more like tiny little zits. And so I try to get facials done a few times a year. I love my facialist. She's amazing. And so I'm actually really glad I get to see her. But she had a random opening this weekend and I was like, mine. Because usually she's booked out like a month or 2. But yeah, so, and I will have I have more flying coming up this year. I have another trip in a week. It's just a very short trip. And then another one. I've got 2 more next month. And my big trip in June with my mom and my sister, which is gonna be delightful. Can't wait. I will probably wear one of these linen t-shirts in Mexico. I guess a swimsuit cover up. Or maybe just even like with shorts. I think that'd be cute. I feel like there's something else I was going to tell you guys and I just like have forgotten. I did see, so I'm recording this Saturday. You guys will see it on Sunday, but I did see that tickets are now available for Flock. So I got mine and my mom's. We got the weekend pass. They have classes listed, but they're not for sale yet. So it's kind of funny. I asked my mom like, hey, do you want to go to any classes? And so I texted her a picture of some of the classes and she was like, I don't know if I am advanced enough for these. I guess if you want to, we can. I was like, well, this is one I'm interested in. It's 3 hours long. And my mom was like, no. My mom has ADHD. And she was like, I will sit somewhere and drink coffee while you go to that class, but don't waste your money on me. And I was like, well, usually in knitting classes, you're not just sitting there listening. You're usually like knitting. And she was like, oh, okay, I could do that. So she and I are kind of similar that way, that if we just have to sit and listen to someone talk for 3 hours, it's not going to work. But if we can have our hands busy, we do better. So, okay. Staying hydrated. I had to mow my own lawn this morning, which I haven't done in like 5 years. I didn't actually own a lawnmower. I actually haven't owned one in about 5 years. But the guy who did my lawn last year has flaked out on me. And I texted him a couple weeks ago and he said he would come by the next day and then he never came. I texted him again this week and he still hasn't even responded to my text. So the grass, I will put a picture actually because it is ridiculous. This is Lolly in my backyard. If you get the angle right, you can see that the grass is actually as tall as Lolly in the backyard. And it's supposed to rain this weekend. And so I kind of like did the math and realized that however much I was paying, I would have paid the lawn guy over one summer is how like more than a lawnmower costs. So I went to Lowe's and bought myself a lawnmower, put it together and mowed my lawn this morning and it sucked. The grass was so tall in my backyard that the lawnmower literally stalled out 12 times. And I had it on a pretty high setting and I was being careful to like not Like when I would hear it start to saw out, I would like pop it up to try to clear. It was awful. I've literally torn skin off of my thumb because I didn't think to wear gloves, so that's great. But my yard looks good. I did not edge it because I have an edger, but by the time I got done, I was disgusting. And I was like, nah, it's not gonna happen. So I now get to mow my own lawn every week for the foreseeable future. But it'll save me money in the long run, and it's a good exercise. So all right, guys. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll probably, as soon as I stop recording, I'll remember something else I was going to talk about. But I think I'm going to be back on my 2-week schedule. So I should be up and running in 2 weeks. Up and running. I'll see you guys back in 2 weeks. I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks. I hope you get lots of time for knitting or whatever your crafting is. I hope you get time with family and friends. I hope you get some time to get outside and get some exercise to keep your mind right. And I will see you back in 2 weeks. Bye.